as well for accessing products and for fetching users products. Definitely, we need to sign in first. But I was talking about access code validation. So the user has just scanned a QR code with access code, and in order to validate if it's still active, etc., we need to first sign in, right? So this is the problem. But you are right that I believe that we would need to add a new point here, namely fetching products, right? Because we need to fetch users' products. And I think that it can be done on the user service, and you can definitely find it in the documentation. So under the link, it's under products, as far as well as subscription, product access API. Yeah. So it's that. So you can fetch, you can see what the response would be there as well.
Okay. So these product IDs or, for example, the Epic and Gold User XP, those are the products, right?
Yes. Well, it's a bit more complicated because it seems that so Epic is going to be. Ezo, could you formulate an email to me with this question? Formulate it in a technical way so that I can forward it to the architect and he is going to respond. Okay?
David, sorry, can you repeat? We just lost you in the middle.
Sure. Please send me an email with this question.
Okay.
And I'm going to forward it to the architect of PEF because you're generally, well, all in all, you're going to end up talking to him, not to me, right? Okay. Because you need to discuss it at the technical level. So, so please send me an email. I'll forward it and make sure that he responds to that. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
anything else that you want to share?
David, I have one more query. So we have some AP calls as of now working. I just want to know, in some AP calls we'll be putting version 1 and in some AP calls we'll be putting version 2. So which one is the stable one? That is for languages retrieval and all, we'll be using version 2. For getting the courses, we are getting, that is we are using version 1. So which one will be the...
In the end, you're not going to hit none of these endpoints because in the end you're going to connect to RPG, not to these directly, right? So you shouldn't worry about that at this point because what you're going to do is you're going to have an RPG endpoint, and RPG will be responsible for determining whether it's version 1 or version 2. Okay.
Okay.
The only difference might be about languages list because it's a public API where you do not need any authorization or anything like that. And I believe that it's going to be version 2. But for latest content version and for content, you're not going to hit these endpoints in the end. You can do it right now, but it's not the release version that we're going to use, right? Because we are going to hit RPG endpoint, and RPG endpoint is going to get back to the response from an appropriate endpoint in PEF.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry at this point.
Okay. So, so you had mentioned about the QR codes. As of now, there is nothing ready, right? So, and the QR codes are going to be printed on the books, right? QR code or access codes, whatever, they're going to be printed, right? And they're not going to change. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
In that case, why don't we send it along with the JSON, the content JSON? So the codes for each and every activity along with that. In that case, it'll be easy for us to validate it locally, and then while the user logs in, it can be sent to the list of products unlocked by the user. Would that be okay? Or?
Yes. Yeah. So we are talking about the QR codes that unlock products, right now. So these QR codes can be validated in backend only when we are signed in, right? So once we are signed in, we can contact a PEF and the user service, PEF user service, and then validate the QR code. And it is going to get back to you with the response. again, you're going to hit this endpoint via RPG, you're not going to hit perf user service directly. Okay. As for QR codes that open activities, we do not validate them at all. Apart from we do need to validate. We need to validate whether the user has access to this piece of content, but this endpoint is not ready yet. This is again going to be RPG.
Okay. So the product would obviously we need to be validated with the backend, and the activities and levels are not ready yet.
What we are going to probably do is we're going to pass the QR code that opens an activity, get what the product is, then hit the backend to check if we can access it or we can store it locally. So it's a decision that we need to make. And then if the user has access to this particular piece of content, we should open this activity. But I don't think, due to the fact that the app is supposed to work offline, I think that we should not do it. We should not contact backend in order to validate whether the user has access to this particular product. We need to do that only when the user tries to download a piece of content. Yeah. So not when scanning a QR code, but if you scan a QR code and this is still online, it hasn't been downloaded yet, we would need to validate it. No, honestly, it's still in development. It's still in development. Well, we cannot, we do not have an URL for that.
Okay.
No.
So in that case, refactoring the scan part would not make any sense, because right now we'll first show the validated page that the QR code has been validated, and then only if he process next, we'll go to login in case he didn't log in yet. So all these logins are changing, right? So.
Well, if you mean the part in which you refactor the code and adjust it to the response that you receive, then it doesn't make sense. We don't know what the response is going to be. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Actually, Manik had asked us to put a sample response in place and make the changes, but now the flow is also changing, right? So
again, as for the previous one, send me an email, a technical email, okay, and I'll forward it to both the architect and Ian Moss, and hopefully they're going to respond to that technically. Okay, so please send me an email, and I'll take care of that as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, David. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Good.
Okay. So can we start with the planning then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. Okay. So we are creating the sprint. So let's start with Alec. Yes, this is the easiest guy to handle. So he is still finishing fill-in activities, and then he is going to move on to drag and drop activities. Then he needs to provide a design pack for results, and that's it for what he needs to do by Monday. And he also needs to take care about the scores, but this is dependent. We depend on Avalanche here a bit, so this is it. Okay, so another thing that before we move on to then let's move on with the refactoring, right? So I'm putting all the spillovers related to refactoring into the sprint. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
How about the story points? Do we need to revise it? Story points.
Now these are
Currently, all
testing,
four
right?
have 5 points.
These are actually only testing is pending. Only
Really?
AP is completed. Only testing.
Mhm. Okay. Testing is okay. Let's have it then. And how about so can we reduce the points then for 558? The APA calls how much testing effort is required? 558. Only the testing portion is pending for that story only. So you need to provide the explanation for that.
Language, content, person,
three.
But you can check only 2 points in the app. You can check only 2. The content will be updated and language you can see list of languages. So only 2 you can check in the app. And it's internally it's first one call will be done and it's fetched linked with another link.
2 points. Okay, David, for 558, can we revise the story points to 2?
Okay.
Okay, and the assignee would be Valliyappan because for that issue only the testing is pending. But when you can provide him the bill? Start testing.
You can test in this point. At this stage,
It's ready. The
yeah,
build is
only
ready.
only the APs you
Yeah,
can check.
Valliyappan. Okay. And 559.
Okay, now we will need to change and download. As part of modularization is complete, now we need to make some other changes.
Okay.
So right now, the download icon will not be updated. If we download lesson from the units page and then go into the lessons page, the icon will not be updated. So we need to make those changes so that it will be universal.
Only one portion from that story is pending and the testing for the entire.
Yeah. We can. Yeah, okay. I can create a new task under it and all the other things can be tested.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Double for 559, it would be 3 points. Okay, so moving on to 560, Maha. Okay, 3 points for you. 3 points for 560, David.
Okay.
And we also need to update the due dates.
Okay. All right, we'll do that in a second, right?
Okay, how about 561, Gautam?
The activity download part is pending, and moreover, we have other things related to.
Are you going to take this into the sprint? Are you sure you can do it?
The thing is, the activity download is not it's not complete as of now, and we do have some changes like login check functionality and all. It's not implemented yet.
Okay.
So,
I think you need to rephrase the story description and the title. Or you want to hold the story?
can take it.
If you are confident and you have all the details, you can take it.
Scan
Five,
scan
six,
part.
one, scan part.
Okay, then we'll do one thing. We'll take this one. We'll rephrase it as the downloading activity part is around pending. Right? We can do that.
You want to rephrase it or you want to hold the story? Or a new story for that.
The activity getting downloaded. We had a problem last time. State. Okay. But then she's asking if you are taking it in the sprint or you want to hold it. Thing is, we are going in some flow and there are changes in scan, so she's asking.
Remember, we need to provide the bill to LAFM, the regression bill on Friday, next Friday. You have to pull the stories that can be completed within Friday. Yeah. Okay. You take a minimal.
It won't be 100%
portion
complete. It won't be 100% complete. We can
Okay.
just tell him like these are the scenarios which we have handled right now.
Only
Those
what
things
they do,
alone he can check it.
So regression is not possible, is what you're saying? Different issue.
We
That's
provide a
what
bill.
their team said, QA from QA.
Yeah, we told them
Because in
that,
test suite, all the test cases will be there for regression.
Right. So if regression is not going to happen this sprint, how about the plan for the individual story? Functionality test will still happen, or
Yeah, that can be
individual
done.
stories
That we
be
can
done?
cover.
That can be done.
Valyapan, it's okay. Yeah, okay.
Even regression can be possible.
Until
Only
the
story.
yes, until the entire code refactoring is completed.
Because there
it is
might
not-
be some things which should be handled at the end only.
Okay, tentatively we have timeline for it will proceed. But at one point we need to do the functionality testing, right? Because downloading also depending on
Yes.
so till then okay. So David, are you okay with this plan? So until the code refactoring is done, regression cannot be possible and looks like the app will be broken.
Absolutely, that really makes sense.
Okay, fine. But the individual stories will be given for testing. It's just the regression cannot happen.
Correct. Yeah, that's perfectly understandable.
Okay, fine, David. So for 561, do you want to rephrase the story or do you want to keep this in the backlog and have a new story for just the act? What is your preference, Gautam?
Certain things we have already covered
Right,
now,
okay.
so we can just rephrase this one alone.
No,
I
I'd
think
suggest-
you need not rephrase. It's just you have to cover one or two portions in this scope, right? Maybe you can just re-estimate and then go on.
Activities, access codes, and
Everything is closed. Okay.
before last call.
Only activity.
Activity could not change.
It can be fixed in this.
For remote download content, you're saying this.
As far as the procedure, this activity will also work. So one issue is like when we download that, not getting reflected as a remote download. It is in the file page.
Yeah, okay.
Color change. It's not happening like.
When this happens, obviously this activity will also happen. There should be some way. I hope that could.
You're talking about activity or remote download content?
Both. If activity happens,
Connected.
So now you're saying if unit is downloaded, the remote download content button is getting activated correctly. Download a unit or a lesson,
yeah, it is.
it's working fine. Yeah, okay.
So if that is not working, the difference is if the complete cannot only that. new download template will work fine, right? In case of downloading new login other than activity.
Actually, remove the in many places. No, while refactoring, we remove those in many places, so it won't work now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, then we'll do one thing. We'll just have a activities apart from this.
Yeah, I think it's better to wait for the call because so how it's going to be, what codes for which one, how about login and all. I think we'll be I think because there's no point in changing one part when the whole part is going to change. We'll wait and we'll take up other tasks.
And did we commit this to Manik earlier? No, did we specifically commit for this to?
No, this is something.
You can hold it through. Okay, so.
Yeah,
David, can we pull 561 out of this plan? It looks like we can decide once we have a call, we have the technical call.
No problem. Okay, so all right, so this is the basic scope, and now the question is how we do that with the points, right? Because I could see in one of your emails, Kalpana, that it seems that we have about 44 points, including Arek. Arek's occupied with, well, I believe that that's all that he can do in this sprint. And let's assume so. If we can expand, well, his duties in the sprint if it turns out that he stays with us for longer. And how about the team now? So 44 for the whole team, including Arek, and how many points can we distribute then with other tasks?
If it is one day for the developers, it would be 33 points.
With Arek or without Arek?
Without Arek and Valiappan, we can have 33 points in this sprint.
33 or 43?
33, 44 in total. So without Arek and Valiappans, we would have 33.
33, okay. And from what you received, from the info you received from Manik, we should book about 40 to 50% for him.
Correct, yes.
So we would have about, let's say, 16 points, story points to use, right?
Yes, sorry, SM.
Okay, so at this point we have 6, 8. So we still have 8 to use, right? So what I would do is I would complete this activity because this task, because it is strong, it is necessary for Arek, but this is unfortunately dependent. So only when Arek finds a way to fix the bug, well, it's not Arek's fault, and it's not a bug on our side. It seems that Aveline cannot resolve that either. So we would need to complete this one, but only when Arek is done with the score. So that's a strange thing, you know. So we cannot include it actually at this point because I don't know when it's going to be fixed.
Okay.
But we could include this one. Let's include it and let's start working on that as soon as possible, as long as we have Arek with us, because Aveline package. So every zip file that we fetch from PEF contains the whole engine, which is, well, more than a half of the package. So what I would like to do is extract this engine from the package. And when we download something, when we download the packages, we do not download the engine. What we would need to do then is have the engine stored in the app. And then when we fetch the package, in these packages, we would need to modify the paths. But this can be done on our side. So, and Arik knows how to do that. So whoever would do that, Arik can guide you how to complete this task. Okay?
Okay, so in that case, you will be providing us with new packets without which does not contain the engines inside it, right?
Exactly, exactly. And it would have appropriate paths so that it pointed to a particular file with the engine, right?
Okay.
Okay, so can we estimate it?
So from our side, what would we need to do?
What you need to do is simply, let me show you what a standard package looks like. Okay, it should be here, I believe. Okay, so we would need to extract this folder and put it in the app, in the binary, so that when we have this one, this would point to, I don't know which value would need to be changed, probably this one, right? So we have some engine player.js. As you can see, it is looking for that in this folder. What we would need to do is we would need to point it somewhere in the binary. So what you need to do is you would need to provide us with the path that should be before this engine part. So you would need to extract this, take this folder, put it in the binary, right?
Okay.
And then provide me with the path that this index HTML would need to point to.
Okay.
It shouldn't be very complicated. But as I said, well, the details can be received from Arik. I'll ask him to. Once we determine who's going to do that, I would ask this person to contact Arik, and Arik would guide you.
Okay. So the path would be the same. It should be the same for all the packets. Only then it'll work, correct?
Yeah, but what we need to do is these need to be universal so that they work fine on both iOS and Android.
Yes.
This might be tricky.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Because the initial path starting will be different, but once inside the app, it should not be a problem. Inside the app, we maintain the structure, so
if you prefer, we may treat it as a spike.
okay. In that case, we can take it as a spike, and if we are able to find if it is easy as we thought, then we can complete it and close it.
Yeah, I think this would be a good idea because we still do not have all the details if Arek's not here. Okay, all right. Whom to assign it to?
Maha.
Okay, are we setting the due date?
We don't usually have due dates for spike.
Okay, no problem.
Ideally, it should not take much time. Arak is, yeah.
Even if Arik is unavailable after the 12th of January, I don't think he's going to mind guiding us anyway. So well, we do not need to do that before the 12th of January. So don't worry. Finish this task and then you can jump into this one. Okay?
Okay.
All right. and there are bugs reported by Valeopen. What are we going to do with them? Can we because last time they were descoped, are we putting them in the sprint then?
David, before that, you can see some new issues and stories at the bottom, 591, 592, and 593. So I think it's better we take it up first and then.
So which ones?
591, 592, 593.
At the end, all the way down.
These.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, no problem. So they are again about refactoring, redesign. Okay, no problem. Okay. So can we estimate them?
591 is the task. Is that
Yes.
Okay.
Who is the assignee for 591? For the listing of APIs and their. Okay. This is what non-task knowledge. Okay, this is for Ram Kumar, David.
Knew that. I believe me, I can already guess who is going to do what. Believe me. This is obviously going to be Gautam.
Scanning part.
Okay, actually scanning we are okay.
You are going to hold this? Yes. Okay. Yes, regarding
591. David, so you had sent those user services APIs, right? So we tried hitting them at. So
Yeah.
we were not able to get the actual responses correctly. I mean, either we were not doing it correctly or we need something.
You have the responses here.
Yes, but when we tried hitting them from Postman, it was not working as expected. We were not getting the user. Which one you tried?
But okay, because well, I didn't give you links to these user service endpoints, right? But I thought that you were just waiting for what the responses are going to look like, and you have the models here, right?
Okay.
You cannot fetch the real responses, but you can be prepared for what the responses are going to be like. That's what I thought that you would need.
Okay. What we thought was, we thought it was ready by then, so we tried putting them in place. Okay.
Well, as far as I know, they are ready. They are currently in QA, so they are tested. They're being tested, so they should be ready somehow. But well, I didn't know that you needed them. I just thought that you needed what the responses are going to look like. That's what I thought.
Yeah, because Monica asked yesterday that you had provided the APIs, and why we had not implemented them yet. I was asking us yesterday, so we were just.
Okay, all right. So this makes things a bit clearer. Okay, so let me write it down, and I'll try to get you the actual endpoints. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do today or tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So this is going to be for sign-ins, for create account, sign in, and probably fetching products. Okay. Okay. But you can still continue with the refactoring because I think that you have the responses, what they're going to look like. I'm going to provide you just with the direct links. Correct. Understandable. Okay, so how about this one, guys? Because, well, we have only 12 minutes left.
Yeah. 592, Gautam, are we going to take the scanning or we are holding this up?
You can hold it.
Okay. Can you please pull that out of the print?
Out of this, okay, sorry.
593.
So David, right now what we're doing is we're using the UIDs of from the JSON to set the path.
Mm-hmm.
So as you already know, this version numbering that UID. So if the version gets updated, it's not going to work. So we need to change that logic.
Okay, great.
Okay, so who is going to any more discussion?
David, in JSON, the UID is as epic devself / the version of the JSON / unit1 like that.
Mm-hmm.
For downloading the content, we are saving the file by using the UID name. But according to Manik's suggestions, we should not dependent on the version of JSON, or inside the JSON, we should not be dependent on the JSON files for downloading or hiding the cloud icons. Is it possible to just get the IDs without the version names, version numbers?
Because we need any one field to be not changed. It should be constant
for that.
So that we can pick the correct activity which has been downloaded. So we'll use some ID or something to point to the correct activity that was downloaded.
So what you need, if I can understand that correctly, if we have an activity, sorry, it has epic dev self version unit 1 skill 1. I don't remember if it's skill or something like that, right? Activity 1, right? And you would need this one, correct?
Not that in particular, but some field that would map to that activity.
To the link to this activity, to the package.
Once again, David, I'll just share my screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We move to one activity. Okay, so this is activity 1.
Yeah.
So this is the URL to download that activity, and see, this is the ID of that activity. So if any such field is going to be same, only with that we can retrieve that activity that has been downloaded. Say for example, we'll use it as a folder or something. And
but ID is generated when you are uploading the JSON file, this table of contents to PEF. And this is never exposed to the creators of the content. So we cannot fetch it otherwise than from the JSON file.
You mean the ID we're not going to be get it? Or?
This ID is created by PEF. We do not have access to it apart from via the JSON file. What we can create and what we can modify is the UID, right? That is below that. That's the thing that I can tell you that, yeah, this one. So that's the one that I can tell you that we're going to have this one and this one. But I do not know what the ID is going to be when creating the content.
David, is it possible in UID to remove this version number?
Nope.
If not, then it will be an issue while the user is downloaded the unit, and if the version is updated, the user will be showed as the unit has been not downloaded it because the version number has been changed. We'll be saving through this path. By using this UID, we'll be saving it. By first time it will be 26, and if again the version is updated to 27 here. While passing the JSON, the user will face as if the unit has been not downloaded it.
Okay.
We have to change.
Well, let's think this through. I can't answer that question now. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, because the solution would be that, well, when this changes, we would need to remove the content that has been downloaded, right? At least for the product that has been updated. Is that correct? So that the user can re-download everything. Yes.
Yeah, he's correct. When the JSON gets downloaded, we have to re-download everything. What you say?
Then we remove the previous JSON.
But why can't we? Because if it was possible to, if we didn't have this version number in the JSON file, why can't we ignore it? I don't know. I don't understand. What's the problem with that?
We are saving the version number. We will be creating applications inside one folder name 1.0.9. It's telling that we need to skip the version number.
While searching, while sending the HTML search, right? By using the they are giving the UID.
That's what he's telling me. In the entire place, you just remove that version number and search it.
Okay, while scripting and while sizing the content, what one they are doing this. Right?
Because just let me cut in, because the things that you could base it on, just suggesting, would be this one. This one would indicate what product we are talking about, and this one, because this is going to be a unique ID for every activity. So within Epic Dev Self, we can have only one activity one, right? So we could pass this one, searching for the final part, right? And if it's of activity type, right, you can see that there is type inside, right? If it's of activity type, then we are done. This is a unique ID for this particular product. And if we have gold XP, it's going to be like, oh, you cannot, sorry, you cannot see my screen, can you? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So this is what it would look like, right? So this is unique for Epic Dev Self. This is unique for GXD. Guys, we have 4 minutes. I need to attend the second meeting. So what are we going to do with that?
Yes.
We'll start and then.
Okay.
Discussion.
Do we have any other stories into this book? Or, yes. Yeah, I understand that. But do we have any other stories for this thing? No. To include.
We'll start. Yeah, we'll add it.
Okay, David, let's start this sprint for now, and 2 more people still have more stories for this sprint. We will add it tomorrow.
Okay.
Later.
Okay, no problem. So who to assign this as a developer? I need to redesign the file storage path structure too.
Yes, we need to do it because actually David Manik has also told us to make it independent of the JSON. So
Okay, we need
So
to find
we'll-
a
yeah.
solution and have to do it anyway.
Yes.
But if it is dependent on the content team, again that will be.
No, that's what Monik said was it should not be dependent on
Oh,
the JSON because it's going to be updated.
content.
There is no point in depending on the JSON.
Fine. If you are confident, then I am not sure. Okay. Points? Here, we have to do it. Okay. Points and the assignment. How much? Okay, 5 points, David, and the assignment would be. Eric, you already have a story. Ram, Ram Kumar. So we need to assign stories for Veena and Gautam, and we will do that tomorrow then.
Yes, yeah. Sorry about that, but I do need to attend this daily. We started the sprint yesterday, and there are going to be plenty of questions.
That's okay. Then.
We'll take care of this then.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You can start.
One thing that I was thinking, one more suggestion here. What we could do is hold a kind of a dictionary with the product and this ID, and then match it to. I don't know. We just need to think this through probably tomorrow, right?
We'll take care of that, David. So
Okay.
We'll try to find a solution.
Let's continue that tomorrow. I'm free after the daily, so if it takes a bit longer, then I don't mind that. So
Okay.
so if necessary, we can continue tomorrow. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, I must dash. So oh yeah, I forgot to start the sprint. Sorry. Start sprint. It is starting today. No, tomorrow. No, today. Today, and it finishes on Tuesday the 30th. No, 23rd. Yes.
Yes.
On 23rd of January. Yeah. So we have 9 working days, but there is a festival, as you told me. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the sprint has been started.
Okay, thanks, David.
Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.